Hello all, welcome to Java Tech. In this video, we are going to learn how to run Maven commands. We will be seeing create command, run some simple Maven commands, and learn what dependency and dependency tree is. Let's start. If you remember in the second part of this series, we use this particular create command to create our first project. Let's understand this command part by part. Command starts with archetype generate, where archetype is the name of the plugin and generate is the name of the goal. What Maven has done is, Maven has created ready-to-use templates of projects that can be created using this plugin goal combination. Let's fire this command and see what I mean. For that, let's go to the terminal, go to workspace and type in the command mvn archetype generate. What this command will do is, it will gather all the predefined templates of projects defined by Maven. One more thing to notice here is, it is generating the project in interactive mode. We'll see what do we mean by interactive mode in a bit. Maven has listed all the template it has with it and assigned a particular number to it. This number is variable. In my PC, when I fire the command, it can vary, and at your PC it can vary. In the interactive mode, we use this particular number to create our project. One more thing to notice here is, in Maven archetype mechanism, each and every template in Maven has assigned with a unique identifier. This unique identifier is known as archetype artifact ID. Let's get back to our slides and find out. The archetype artifact ID that we used was Maven archetype quick start. Maven must have defined a number to this archetype artifact ID also. Let's find out that also. Let's search our ID here. Maven archetype quick start. There it is. The ID that we used was Maven archetype quick start, and Maven has assigned a number to it, that is 1657. Now let's scroll down. Here we can see that Maven says choose a number to apply filter. Maven wants us to choose a number that is assigned to a project that we want to create. One more thing to notice here is that by default the number is 1657. That is same as our quick start project. If we do not provide any number, Maven will take this particular number by default. But here Maven is asking us to select a number. That's because we are in interactive mode of this command. Let us press enter and create a default quick start project. You can provide any number you want from the above list as per your need, but I'll just enter. Now Maven is asking about the version of template that we need to use. In Maven, for a particular template of project, we can have multiple versions. It's just a simple way of working. If any enhancement come to this particular template, enhancement is done and a new version is created. In the command that we used to create our project, the version we used was 1.4. Let's use the same value that we used before. Just remember that we need to provide the number. And 1.4 version is assigned to 8th number. Now Maven is asking about the group ID. It's just a categorization of our project. The recommended naming convention for group ID is to use the name of our website in reverse order. That is com.companyname.app. Now the Maven is asking for artifact ID. This is just the name of our project. That is my app. The default version of a particular Maven project is 1.0 snapshot. If we want, we can give 1.0 here, but for now, we'll keep the default version. Now the Maven is asking for what kind of package structure we need to use for our project. It is recommended that we use the same package structure as it is defined in group ID. So we'll just press enter, as by default the package structure is same as the group ID. Here, Maven is asking for the confirmation for all the properties that we provided, that is group ID, artifact, version and package. Just enter after this and our project is created. Let's use the project. Now we have a valid project with pom.xml and source. Now let's review the command once that we used to create our project earlier. This command consists of all the properties that we just provided, that is group ID, artifact ID, archetype artifact ID, artifact version and interactive mode false. Here we have switched off the interactive mode. Because of this, last time when we created our Maven project, Maven does not ask us to enter our configurations manually. Now I think we have understood this particular command clearly. Let's move ahead. In the last video, we learned about the significance of order of phases that Maven is following in a particular build lifecycle. For example, there was a lifecycle in Maven called default. And in that default lifecycle, there were many phases, that is validate, initialize, compile, package, install, all the way till deploy. And when we were firing a command, that is mvn compile, what Maven was doing is, Maven was following its default order. That is, first it was executing validate, then initialize, all the way till compile. This was the default order that Maven should follow. Does Maven really follow the same order in all the cases? That is our question number 1. And secondly, can we know the actual order what Maven is following to execute our goal? The answer for our first question is no, Maven is not following the same order in all the cases. The answer for our second question is yes. Yes, we can know the actual order that Maven is following to execute our command. Let's go back to our slides and see how. Using these two commands, we can get the actual order of phases and plugins that Maven is following when any command is given to it. Firstly, let's understand the first command, that is mvn help describe -d cmd is equals to install. In this command, help is the plugin, describe is the goal, -d is a way in which we are providing an argument to a Maven command, cmd is the argument, and install is the value of the argument. Firstly, it will list down all the phases, and secondly, it will mark that particular phase will get executed or not. Let's see this thing practically. Let's open the terminal using Ctrl-Alt-T. Go to our project, that is cd workspace my app. Let's fire the command, that is mvn help describe -d cmd equals to install. Let us understand the output that is given to us by Maven. What Maven has done here is, Maven has listed down all the phases that are available in the default lifecycle and marked them in two ways. Firstly, not defined, and secondly, the name of the plugin. What not defined denotes that for our project, validate phase will not be executed. Similarly, for our project, validate, initialize, generate resource, all the phases which are not defined will not get executed, and all the phases which are defined with some or the other plugin will get executed. That is, for our project in default lifecycle, the order in which the phases will get executed would be process resource, compile, process test, test compile, test, package, install, and deploy. Out of all these 23 phases, only 8 phases are available to our project, not all of them. Why is it like that? The answer lies here. It is a part of life cycle for the POM packaging jar. We already know that we can assign a packaging tag in our POM that defines the packaging of our project, that is jar, var or nar. What Maven has done is, Maven has defined or Maven has marked a particular order according to the packaging. All these 23 phases that lie in a particular default life cycle of Maven will not be getting executed for all kinds of projects. For jar, 8 of them will get executed. In this command, this is the name of the plugin, list plugin is the name of the goal, build plan task is the name of the argument, and install is the value of the argument. What this command will do is, this will list all the plugins that will get executed when we fire mvn install. Let's see this practically. Let's go to our project, workspace, my app. Let's type in the command mvn fr.jcgate maven.plugins build plan maven plugin list plugin -d build plan dot tasks equals to install. Let's see what Maven has done. Maven has listed down all the plugins that will get executed when we fire mvn install on this particular project. One more thing to see here is the order is not correct. In this command, we'll be getting only the name of the plugins that will get executed when we fire install. We can change the argument and we can also see the list of plugins that will get executed in some different task that is provided by us to Maven. For example, we can take a task clean, install. Now see, for clean, it will be executing this particular plugin, and in case of install, Maven will be executing all these plugins, but the order will be the same as what we saw in the first command, that is mvn help describe -d cmd install. This will be the order. We can also cross verify the same with the above command. We can see that in all the phases which are defined here, these are just grouped and gathered in the table. And there is one more thing to notice, that is the difference between the two commands. The first command that we saw, that is help describe, this will give us all the phases irrespective of the command argument that we have given to it. But in the second command, this will give us all the plugins for a particular task that is provided to us in the command. That is, for the first command, the task we gave was install, and for the second command, the task we gave was clean, install. Now let us understand this more clearly and see how overall Maven grabs all the information and fires the command and create a build plan and executes the plugins. Let's take an example of a command, that is mvn compile. When we give this particular input to Maven, what Maven will do is, Maven will do two things. Step 1, that is, it will list down all the phases of the life cycle of which the phase is given in the command. That is, the phase that is given in the command is compile, which belongs to the default build lifecycle. So Maven collects all the phases in default lifecycle, that is validate, initialize, all the way to deploy. And step 2 will be get the type of packaging. For our project, it was jar. After getting these two, what Maven will do is, using these default phases and the jar, Maven will redefine the order of the phases as follows. That is generate resource, compile, generate test resource, test compile, and all the way to deploy. There are I think 7 or 8 of them, and total there are 23. So from 23 phases, Maven redefines its order to 7 or 8. Now this is the default order that Maven will be following in all our commands for our project. That is, when we fire mvn compile in our project, what Maven will do is, Maven will execute generate resource and compile. When we fire deploy, that is mvn deploy in our project, what Maven will do is, Maven will execute generate resource, compile, generate test, all the way till deploy. That is total 7 or 8 phases. Not all 23 of them. Now I think we are clear with how internally Maven is running the command. Let's move ahead. Now let's see what a dependency is. A dependency is another jar, zip, that is needed by our project. We define all the required dependencies in the POM as follows. We have a dependency tag in which we define a particular dependency with a group ID, artifact ID, specified version, and scope. Let us understand dependency more clearly with an example. Let's suppose we need to add MySQL driver in our project MyApp. To do so, what we'll be doing is, in pom.xml of our project MyApp, we'll be adding dependency for MySQL connector. Let us do the same practically in our project. Let us go to our project, cd workspace, MyApp. This is our project. Let's open the POM. Let's get to the dependency tag and add our dependency here. Write the file. As of now, what we have done is, we have just added an entry of a dependency in our project's POM. But we need to download this particular dependency or this particular jar from the online repository of Maven to our local repository. And to do so, the command that we will be using is mvn eclipse. This will scan the whole project and download all the required jars. Just see here, it is downloading the jars from central repository. Now we can also note one thing, that is, it has downloaded MySQL connector and it has also downloaded this protobuf. Why Maven has downloaded both these jars? We'll see that in a bit. Firstly, let us see different types of dependencies. There are two types of dependencies, direct and transitive. Direct dependency is something that is coming from the dependency tag of our own project, that is MyApp. And transitive dependency is something that is coming from the dependency defined in the POM of the direct dependency. In our case, the direct dependency that we have defined in MyApp is MySQL connector Java. So the jar MySQL connector Java 8.0.21.jar will be the direct dependency for our project. And if we see it logically, MySQL connector Java is also a project. which will constitute a different POM, and that particular POM can have different dependencies on which the driver is dependent on. Let us understand it more clearly. Suppose this is our project MyApp, having pom.xml, which in turn have the dependency of MySQL connector. And suppose this is MySQL connector project, having its own pom.xml, in which we have a dependency protobuf. So when we fire mvn eclipse on our project MyApp, what Maven will do is Maven will recursively get all the dependencies in all the POMs. That is, the dependency of MySQL, the dependency in the POM of MySQL, and also the dependencies in protobuf. And this will recursively go on till Maven can't get any more dependencies. After collecting all these dependencies, Maven will download all the dependencies from the remote repository to our local repository. So for our project, MySQL connector is the direct dependency and protobuf is the transitive dependency. That is, it is the jar or it is the dependency on which MySQL project is dependent. Now, if we take the example of MySQL connector Java, this is also an independent project. So, for this independent project, if we fire mvn eclipse, protobuf will be the direct dependency, and if the protobuf project's POM contains some dependency, those dependencies would be transitive. I think now we are clear with the types of dependencies and why Maven downloaded this protobuf jar. Moving ahead, let us see a command that will show us all the direct and transitive dependencies of our project in a tree structure. Dependency tree. As I said, this particular command will describe all the jars, all the dependencies, whether it is direct or transitive, and show them in a tree structure format. Just see this first line. The first jar JUnit and the second one is MySQL. These are the direct dependencies that we have added in our project form. Now see the second level. In the second level, there are two jars, first and the second. This particular jar is the transitive dependency for our project and direct dependency for the JUnits project. You can find this particular dependency in JUnits form. Similarly, protobuf is the jar, a transitive dependency for our project and a direct dependency for MySQL's connector Java project. And you can find this particular dependency in MySQL connector Java's POM. I hope you are clear with the dependency tree command. If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe. Java Tech signing off.